Portugal, Portimao, with my brother who moved to Europe.
I had a good job working at the bank and stuff, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy waking up in the morning, sitting in traffic.
Thank you.
Wow, that looks amazing.
If we didn't sell them on Portugal, we're starting.
Sheesh. You asked a good question. What does somebody have to do to move here?
On average, you move to Portugal, how much are you spending cost of living per day? This trip, we've been traveling with mom and dad, and it's nice to have a sibling, right? Because you understand each other in a way where, like, when your dad does something or your mom does something, like, I could just look to my brother and be like, fuck, like, I hate this. My dad also has food issues.
Oh my God, major food issues. Major food issues.
No, how do you explain? I wonder if anyone else would relate to this.
Maybe other Italians.
Other Italians?
Yeah, because Germany, I have a girlfriend who lives there.
How did you meet her? You think she's the one? Keep ordering. I'm sending the bill to dad on the beach.
He's gonna look at the bill.
Are you getting tipsy?
A little bit. You?
Cheers.
We order another bottle of wine or what?
Well, you really took company expense to another level. Actually, you know what? I'll do an Aperol Spritz instead. We're gonna get up and actually beat it. Thank you.
You wanna sound like a local? Just say, "Obrigado."
Briga. How long did it take you to learn Portuguese?
Yeah, I have a controversial topic. We get that we got warnings from people like, yeah, be careful in Gibraltar, the monkeys are gonna steal your glasses and your phone.
Your brother used to sell drugs. Who are you to make a comment like that?
You're listening to the XPodcast. The X you keep coming back to.
Welcome to the XPodcast. It's your host and your host every single Monday. We're here in Portugal, Portimao, with my brother who moved to Europe. So, introducing my loser brother, Jordan.
Can I call you sister? Pepe, Julian, Onzima, thank you for coming in. Good morning. Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
We've been listening to this all week.
All fucking trip, seriously.
I had no idea what that saying was until my brother kept blasting it all fucking trip. The only person I've ever had on that was a family member was mom. So you're the second person. How do you feel?
Didn't you have that as well?
No, I didn't have that. That is a special creature. I don't know. I don't know if I could
It's gonna be controlling everything. Oh, the camera should be here.
Literally. What made you want to move to Europe?
So it's about what, like 2019? Right before COVID? No, actually, wait, it was before that. It was 2017. So 2017 was the first time that I came to Europe. It was actually my first time ever being in Europe. And I landed in Lisbon. And I came here actually literally in this spot where you're sitting right now, No Solo Agua.
Thank you.
We got some quesadillas and some sushi over here.
Thank you.
Wow, that looks amazing.
If we didn't sell them on Portugal, we're starting.
Sheesh.
I'm a sponsored baby, duh.
This is such an awkward thing to be talking about with my brother, but we are going to be introducing Joy Mode today. Joy Mode is a sexual boost performance. So instead of getting that over-the-counter pill to, get your willy up or get your blood flowing to the right places of your body, you just have to use Joy Mode. It acts as like a vitamin. In the morning, you take your vitamins. You also take Joy Mode. You put it 45 minutes to 5 hours before you might get lucky, before a workout. Stir it in water and drink it and allow the magic to happen. You've tried it.
Honestly, I use it for my workout. I feel my blood pumping. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
And it's not only for men, it's also for women. So it's really important that you have your blood flowing through your body. So use my discount code XPodcast at checkout for 20% off. Enjoy. I asked for crispy rice tuna. You ordered raw fish.
No, I asked for chicken. Okay, we're not gonna make it stink now on air. Fuck that.
How is it?
It's amazing.
Okay, go.
But yeah,
The music is fire right now.
getting back to your question. So I was coming to Portugal for a music festival and to see one of my buddies. And literally the moment that I landed in Lisbon, as soon as I got out of the plane, as soon as I got into the city, I'm like, honestly, I'm moving here. Literally, as soon as I got off the plane, I was already texting my manager, how does it work to take some time off work, a sabbatical, to take a 1 year off, whatever. And honestly, they were pretty supportive about it, actually. They're like, you know what? They're like, you want to take 1 year off? They're like, go for it. Take a year off. You can come back after, so it's 1 year unpaid leave. And then after you could come back and then just basically pick up where you left off.
Okay, so basically now you love Portugal, you visited Lisbon first, you come to Portimao, and you said, wow, I love it here, I would move here.
Yeah.
And knowing that you can work remote, you're like, perfect, I'll just come here and work remote, or...
Well, back then it wasn't like that. That's the situation right now, but before it wasn't like that. Before it was more like, oh, I'm just on vacation. So I'm like, okay, let me take a vacation to go visit my friend, and I saw the way the city was, the vibe, the cafes, and I was sold right away. But to be honest, though, like the reason why also is because I wasn't sold living back at home. So there was that element. There was an element of like, I had a good job working at the bank and stuff, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy waking up in the morning, sitting in traffic, If I would have liked my job, it would have been a different story. But it's the fact that I didn't like my job. I wasn't happy working. Working at the bank is a great job. I'm not saying it's not a good job, but I wasn't happy working there, and I just wanted more. And there was the element of like, I don't want to regret anything. I don't want to be in my deathbed. Like that's one thing that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Being in my deathbed and I'm like, I should have, or like what if?
Yeah.
So like that, I think that one element just makes me take risks and makes me jump. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people would love to move to Europe and just try something new. But a lot of people want to do it but don't have the guts. So what advice can you give anyone who wants to do it? Because like obviously you're leaving all your friends behind. You're leaving your job. Everything is unknown. There's obviously beauty in the unknown, but there's still a lot of things that are like scary.
You are taking a big leap of faith. And like worst case, you could just go back home, right? Like worst case, it didn't work out. You could just go back, get on a plane and go back home.
Yeah.
But you're still kind of giving some precious time away from your family and your friends. So there's that element of risk that you're, and also if you're in a career or something, you're taking years off, moving towards a career.
What are the steps that somebody needs to take in order to move to Europe? Like obviously you needed to get your passport.
Well, it's different for everybody. Like I was fortunate enough to be, our grandparents obviously were born in Italy. So for us, it's easy. But
and
it's
your
not
mom.
The same. Yeah, exactly. So it's not the same for everybody. So I was fortunate enough to just, and to top it off, the person who works at the passport, not the passport place, but the person who takes care of the passports
What
for
is
Italians.
It called?
I don't know, but shout out to Vera. She hooked it up. So anyways, Vera took care of both our grandparents' pensions in Italy and taxes. So when I went to her office, and this was the initial meeting that I went to see Vera, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm eligible, like I'm new at this, right?
Yeah.
So I walked into her office and she's like, who's your grandparents? And I gave them both Nonna's names. She's like, wait 1 second. She goes downstairs in the office and she comes upstairs with 2 massive files and she just slaps it on the table. She's like, this is your Nonna Maria and this is your Nonna Congettina.
No.
Boom. She's like, I have everything you need right here. She's like, you're eligible for citizenship. And I'm like, whoa.
You think
mental.
if it would have been a lot harder, you would have done it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
When I have my mindset on something, I don't give up until I achieve it. So
what would you say is like the biggest difference from like living in Canada to Europe? Like
just
could
like
be good, could be bad.
Just like the lifestyle in general, right? Over here it's a lot more, and you've been here for the last couple of weeks and you've been here several times. You see how the people are. They're more laid back, they're more relaxed, they're more enjoying life. And to be honest, I don't live like them though. I'm still living with the North American mentality. So like if you exactly, if you come over here in a place like that with that mentality, you'll crush it basically.
Because technically you're getting the salary of not here but back home, but you're living in a place that's a lot cheaper.
That too, yeah.
Now that you're living in Europe, you've traveled to a couple of places. Would you say Portugal is still your favorite, or Portugal's just cheap?
Honestly, I love Portugal. Portugal's a great place. The people are amazing. The weather's nice. Everything's great. But I just love Spain. I'm in love with Spain. Went there a couple times in the south of Spain, Malaga, Marbella. Love it. I wouldn't say it's going to be my forever home, but it's definitely a place to put your flag, so to speak. So I got involved with real estate. I bought a couple of apartments here next to the beach, and obviously, like the real estate in Montreal, like it's unaffordable. Even for me, it's like I don't have $1 million to buy a place, you know. But over here, like I could get a place next to the beach for a fraction of the price, you know.
Yeah.
So
You've managed to also Airbnb that.
yeah, exactly.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I started a couple years ago with my first place. Started Airbnb-ing my first apartment in Praia de Rocha, which is the area near the beach. And a year later, I bought my second apartment, also in Praia de Rocha. Actually, no, sorry, a bit further away from the beach, but I went for a bigger place. That was for my place, my personal residence. And then after year 3, I bought my third place. So like, kind of like my goal is like one apartment every year. Like, let's go, you know?
Yeah. I feel like you'll get to a stage where you're going to have multiple a year.
For sure.
Being your sister and seeing you back home, you were like a lot lazier back then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You were like playing video games. I was like, what are you doing?
Definitely.
Like,
so that's one thing I'll say is that I think the biggest game changer for me was leaving our parents' house personally. Because like when I was living at home, like she would, you know, mom would do our clothes, she would clean the house for
she would do everything.
She would do everything for us. And like the second I left, it's not like I left the house and I moved into another apartment. I left the house and I moved to another continent.
Yeah.
And I was stuck. I felt alone. I felt all these emotions, you know. It was tough. Honestly, it was not easy. It was hard. And that's why I did it. And it sounds like Kennedy.
But it's like when you feel comfortable, that's when you know you need change and you need to get out. Yeah.
100%. So like now I just became obsessed with being in uncomfortable situations, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know that that's where the growth is at. I know that just being in your comfort zone, there's no growth happening and you're not going to move forward. You're not going to level up.
Yeah.
So I feel like moving here was... And that's why I did it. I said I'm doing it because it's hard. I'm doing it because I'm away from my parents, because it's gonna force me to take control, to take charge, to be on that the mindset where it's I gotta do it. I gotta take charge.
When you came here, were you renting or you bought right away? Like, what'd you do?
No, so actually I bought right away. It was the year during COVID, so the prices were still kind of low. So I was fortunate enough to get myself a good deal on a property close to the beach. And you need a down payment, right? You need to have that 20% down payment, and I had that. I had saved up for many years, and I had the down payment funds for my first property.
Does your thumb have to do with that or no?
Maybe.
Tell them the story quickly. Show them your thumb. Just say it.
That's weird, no?
No.
It's weird.
Okay.
Huh? Let's not bring up the thumb. Some things are better left unsaid.
Not on the XPodcast. He sued and he made money. So all that saving he said he did?
I just said let's not talk about the thumb.
Thumb still works, right? Do you like it now or are you like weird about it?
I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. Are you allowed to talk about like suing for...
Yeah, but it's just weird, no?
No? Why is it weird? You have half a thumb. Anyway.
You asked a good question. What does somebody have to do to move here? So like it's different for every country is different, and Portugal is one of those countries where it's easy to get a visa.
Oh yeah.
I know it's known for digital nomads.
Okay.
For people who work abroad and they live here, because from what I understand, they give out visas easily. I don't know this. I don't because I got my Italian passport, so I could live and work all throughout Europe. In the Schengen region, but I know that Portugal is very friendly for giving out visas, work visas. So, yeah.
And like the weather here is hot most of the time. Like, how's winter here?
Winters it rains a lot.
Okay.
And then, trust me, they need it because in the summer there's not one drop of rain. I've been here all summer. There's not even one day of rain. Like it's horrible.
You know what the sick thing is you live in Portugal, but it's so easy to go anywhere else in Europe.
Yep.
Like, we're here and we're in Spain tomorrow. Like, it's like so easy to move around. It's crazy. Where would you say is Portugal the cheapest place to live?
Yeah. Maybe Eastern Europe is cheaper, but for quality of life, For safety, I guess like a safe country. Portugal is like top 5 safest countries in the world. And for quality of life, cost of living,
Can you just
nice weather.
Can you walk us through like cost of living, like a day?
You still need to know the spots, right? Now I'm a local, so you still need to know the spots. Like right now, we're not in a local spot. Like we're in No Solo Agua. This place is amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Right on the beach. This place is.
I come here and you know me, bougie me. I'm like, I want to go to No Solo.
It's a really nice place. Has good music, but it's not a local spot, right? Like I wouldn't come here to eat here every day because they're gonna charge tourist prices.
Yeah.
But living here for a couple years now, I know where all the good local spots are. Home cooked meal, home cooked soup, and all those things. And like,
I want to give like on average. You moved to Portugal. How much are you spending cost of living per day?
I didn't do the math, but like, look.
Let's say you eat out all day. How much are you spending?
I didn't do the math, but
okay,
okay, let's do the math. Let's do the math. Okay, breakfast. Well, breakfast over here. Breakfast. Well, breakfast is not like in Canada where you get eggs, bacon. There's places for that over here, but you're gonna pay through your teeth. Breakfast over here is a coffee and a pastel de nata.
Yeah.
Or like a croissant and like a little dessert with a coffee.
So say what, €3?
Less.
Okay.
Like 150, €2. That's
In
breakfast. But for me,
Canada and the US, they're raping us.
well, listen, if you go to a breakfast place over here in a tourist area, you're still gonna pay like Canada prices. So you really need to know the spots.
Right.
But I eat breakfast at home, so like you're asking me these things, but I don't eat out much.
You said you eat out chicken every night.
Yes. Okay. So for breakfast, I make eggs in the morning.
Okay.
So I'll have like 4 or 5 eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. Then I go train. So I eat a banana as soon as I wake up. Go to the gym. Come back home. Make my eggs, my breakfast. After the gym, and then I go to the grocery store because the grocery store they make fresh chicken. I get a chicken, cost me like €4 for a full chicken. And then I'll get like a rice with, and it's delicious food and it's actually healthy. It's rice with like seafood and calamari and stuff like that.
So you would say on average eating a day in Portugal is around €15,
yeah,
not even.
That's safe to say.
€15.
It could be even less if you're, if
That's
you're eating
not
at
even
home.
a fucking coffee in
know.
US and Canada. So €15 a day while you're still keeping your salary of back home. And then living, what would you say a day is on average?
Well, it depends because I don't do much. I'm just working every day.
Yeah, but
Like,
your apartment, let's just say, I'm just trying to calculate more or less.
So my mortgage, you're gonna laugh.
Why?
My mortgage is €150 a month for one of my properties.
That's crazy.
And my other apartment is 300 and the other one is 300. Now I have 3 properties, less than €1,000 for all 3.
That's nuts. That's literally what people are paying a month for a car.
I know. That's why when I hear people renting over 2K, like I'm not saying it's, like
Yeah.
I know that's what it is. That's what the going price is now. But it's tough. It's like you're paying all that and you're renting and you're not even going to own anything.
Yeah.
And like I'm paying a fraction of that. Not that I'm trying to saying that I'm better than anybody.
No.
But I'm just saying like moving here allowed me to be in that situation. I would not be able to be in this situation living in Montreal. But I will say one thing about Montreal. I love Montreal. And to be honest, moving and traveling throughout Europe made me appreciate Montreal a lot more. Montreal is a very unique place.
Yeah, but there's a lot bad with Canada, Jordan.
For sure, I agree. But as far as like it being a charming city, it made me appreciate it more. Like I will say that like I appreciate Montreal a lot more. I've been through many countries, many cities throughout Europe, and there's no place like Montreal.
What's something you hated about Canada? The rules.
Especially in Quebec, right? We're being choked. Like
Yeah.
everything,
And we can't do anything.
I feel like everything in Quebec is an L, literally.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know. Like I feel like I come over there and like I see a police officer. You're supposed to feel safe. I feel like, oh my god, like I'm looking around. Like what am I doing wrong? Like
Yeah.
like I come over here like I feel safe. First of all, it's one of the safest countries, top 5 safest country on the planet, and the police don't bother you over here. They're like you see a police officer, you're not like wondering like, oh my god, are they gonna stop me?
Yeah. This trip we've been traveling with mom and dad, and it's nice to have a sibling, right? Because you understand each other in a way where like, when your dad does something or your mom does something, like I could just look to my brother and be like, fuck, like I hate this about them, but it's never gonna change. But at least you have your sibling to be like, to talk about it because they get it, you know? And this trip, oh my God. We all have our shtick, that's for sure.
I feel like it's not just this trip. It's even when I come back to Montreal, we're always like, kind of like laughing and bonding over like stuff that Dad does, especially Dad. And like all those videos you see online of like Dad noises in the morning.
We landed in Portugal, and then from Portugal, we went to, what was the first place? We went to Marbella, right? That was the first.
Well, no, you guys landed in Lisbon, and then you drove here. You met me here, right? And then we stayed here 2 days?
Yeah, we stayed here 2 days, and then we went to Marbella. And so we're traveling with my friend's parents, who are angels, by the way. They're like so fun, so nice. And my two parents. So when they had rented the Airbnbs, I wasn't coming on the trip. So obviously they had to do some alterations, right? Like, but apparently they ordered enough rooms.
And I had to get the sofa. Fuck.
So the first day we get there, I'm like, no, I'm getting the bed. So my brother gets the sofa because there wasn't enough rooms, okay? But anyway, so you did what, 2 days on the sofa?
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do it. My back is destroyed. I can't do it. I'm old now. I'm not young anymore. Fuck. I was walking at a 45. We were going out on that. I was like walking like a crippled.
Yeah, but wait. It's because my dad wakes up so fucking early.
What is it with that and booking Airbnbs? I don't get it.
I know. My dad cannot handle any Airbnbs. He's paying more. He's getting the worst Airbnb.
I don't understand that.
But it's like that we allow him to do this.
Yeah, we do. We do allow him. You know what?
It's done.
You know what? To be fair, he did ask us several times, help me find the place in Spain. And we're like, yeah, you know, and then we're busy with other things. And then he booked something. We're like, Dad, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Dad would wake up at 6 a.m. Coughing.
Classic dad noises
Classic
in the morning.
dad noises like, and you're sleeping on the couch. Your back is killing. Oh, you went mental.
No kidding.
Anyway, so then from there, I was like, okay, like, I'm going to move to the couch and give my brother the room because I'm a nice. And then we moved to the next spot. And my dad goes, there's a room for everyone in this one.
Wait. Go back to the part where he said, okay, guys, I booked our apartment for Sevilla. We're staying 2 nights. We're like, 2 nights? Well, we told you we don't even want to stay 1 night.
Yeah, we didn't want to do Seville,
and now
okay?
you're booking 2 nights. Oh, I checked on Airbnb and it was minimum 2 nights. He's not good with technology. Like, we need to help him with that department. He did, to be fair, he did ask us several times to help him book the place.
Oh, I'm like, what do you mean? Because we already didn't want to go to Seville. I went last year. We did it already. So I was like,
True.
We don't want to be there. There's nothing to see. Anyway, he books 2 nights. He says, sorry, Airbnb, you could only book 2 nights. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, let me check. I take out my phone. I find like a bunch of 5-star places for cheaper and for minimum 1 night. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, okay, let's try to cancel. And then we try to cancel and like, no, it was a non-refundable booking, so we couldn't.
Anyway, so we get to the second spot, which was in Seville, and we're staying 2 nights, and we're all happy we're getting a room. I don't have to break my back on the couch anymore.
And then we get there. There was 1, 2, 3 and a half rooms. There was a room, but it was a mezzanine. It was like on the 2nd floor, but it was a mezzanine, so there was no wall.
There was no wall, okay?
There was just a curtain.
And our biggest issue is that my dad wakes up at fucking 6 a.m. with his coughing noises. And he's fucking banging things, moving things. I almost feel like when he's up, he wants everyone to be up. You know? Anyway, so I'm sleeping in the mezzanine that doesn't have a wall, okay? So all I fucking hear is my dad in the morning while everyone has a fucking wall and door to their room. He's watching a show. My dad is deaf, doesn't put on earphones because he probably doesn't know how. Watching a fucking show on his phone. He thinks it's not loud. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. because obviously dad is watching. No, it was just a mess. How would you describe mom now?
Mom is chill, I find. I don't know, you?
Mom's more chill, I would say.
Mom is way more chill.
Mom, you know what it is? Mom is way more hip.
Yeah.
Like
But so is that though, in a way, like in the
moms-
way they dress and like the way they carry themselves. I think they're pretty hip.
Yeah.
It's just don't make dad book the Airbnbs. That's it.
Yeah. And my dad also has food issues.
Oh my God, major food issues.
Like-
Major food issues.
No, how do you explain? I wonder if anyone else would relate to this. I don't think so.
Maybe other Italians.
Other Italians?
Yeah, because food. Yeah, but it makes sense though. You still have one of them.
Come on.
It makes sense though. Like
Why?
Italians get pissed off over food. It's just the way it's just in our DNA. I feel like I'm gonna be the same too when I'm older. Fuck. But I'm already like that if I don't have enough food. Like even just being at home, like, and we're in my apartment now. I'm hosting my parents, and if I want to go into my closet and get my food, he's gonna dictate what I should or should not eat. So, for example, if it's like midnight and I want to eat a chocolate chip cookie, and I go grab a cookie, why are you eating a cookie? Why, it's late at night? Shouldn't eat that cookie. It's like, no, I want the cookie. It's like, if you want it, it's like we're adults now. If you want
You know
a
what
fucking
makes
cookie, we're
me
gonna
so
eat it.
angry is that we fight back when we should just like, they are who they are and they're not gonna, like, he's not gonna change.
But I don't want them to change though. Like, you know what I mean? Like
you found.
honestly, our parents are the best. Like,
Yeah.
I would
We're
never
talking
want
shit,
them to
but,
change.
like-
We're talking shit, but like it's all love, you know. Like they're the best parents on the planet.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, everybody has their, you know, everybody
There's
has their
not a
things. Everybody has.
single-
I have my own issues. You have
There's
your
not a
issues.
single thing mom or dad would not do for all three of us.
That's true.
And I think like having that support is probably what made you move to Portugal, honestly.
For sure.
I don't think if you didn't have that, you would.
For sure.
Okay, and like, what are your thoughts on like Amsterdam and like Germany? Like, let's talk a little bit about.
I love Amsterdam. I traveled to traveled. I went there just for a weekend a couple of years ago. I would definitely go back. Beautiful city. Germany. I have a girlfriend who lives there.
How did you meet her?
We met here in Portugal. Actually, she was on vacation last year.
You
her on
met like in
Hinge.
person or on an app?
No, we met on Hinge.
Oh yeah, I didn't know
No.
this. I didn't know you met on Hinge.
It's definitely the app designed to be deleted. That's their slogan. It's actually true. So yeah, we met on Hinge and we hit it off ever since.
and she lives in Germany.
She lives in Germany. Right now it's a long distance relationship, but we're doing the back and forths for now. But eventually we plan on. She's gonna move here.
You think she's the one?
She definitely checks the boxes.
Is she like a simple girl?
Yes, she is.
Do you think that most guys want a simple girl?
Well, she's very traditional. She's very, very traditional. And I find today it's hard to find a traditional woman. And, they're Turkish. The family is Turkish. So they're not German. They're living in Germany. It's like us. We're Italians living in Canada, right? So they're Turkish living in Germany.
Right.
And amazing family. I met their couldn't understand each other, obviously. They don't speak a
Amazing
word
family.
of English.
You can't even speak to them.
But no, you could tell, and like, they're like us. I went there. She was telling my girlfriend that, I want to make him fat. He's too skinny. Like typical, like sounds like something Nunna would say, you know. And they're like us. They live for food, and they're all about family, and they're all about good values. And
Traditional girl is easier in Europe? I would think so.
yeah, definitely.
Because, like, there's a lot of girls and guys that are corrupt from the U.S. Come on.
Girls nowadays just want a guy who has money. They want a guy who has it now, right now. And they don't want necessarily a guy who is working towards getting that.
I don't think that's true.
Like, I don't blame any woman that wants to be with a non-loser. Like, let's be honest here. Why would you want to be with a loser who's not working towards anything? Like, let's be totally honest, right?
Exactly.
What I have an issue with is, like, they have to have it together now.
That's
and not
true.
necessarily have a vision or have, like, you know, plans or stuff like that.
Yeah,
for the
like
future.
we're a little bit impatient. Like we want the money, we want everything now.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
But
them for that.
also, it's true. Like you have to also know when you see potential in someone and know that like they are gonna have it all. But I
Exactly.
think you're able, as a girl, you're able to see the difference between someone who's like staying at home doing nothing and is just complaining on life versus someone who's like ambitious, working, trying things. You know that person is gonna be successful because they're
Right.
trying a million things. So I think like.
And if you stick by that guy, you're going to be rewarded in the long term, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you have to still, like, you know, still have to be careful. Check out the flags, you know, do your little due
Yeah,
diligence.
because sometimes
for sure.
people with no money change once they have money.
True.
But that's when values comes into it. You know?
Yeah,
If you have a lot of values, I don't feel like you'll stray away as much.
100%. But yeah, to answer your question, definitely. I didn't think I was going to find her in Montreal. just the way like society is in Montreal and what the people value. Like, obviously people value success and people want to be around success and want to have the freedom and be able to do what they want. So like I can't blame women for wanting to be with somebody who's not a loser, you know, like.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, it's like, you know.
I think also a lot of women and men need to like realize who they are. Like I feel
that's
like
true.
Sometimes
that's
like
true.
Girls want so much, but it's like, no offense, you're not the 10 that the guy is gonna date. So you can't have these standards. You also have to know where you fall on the spectrum. I think sometimes we're a little too delusional.
For example, like when it came to like me and my girlfriend, we always have these talks about like training. I know you guys might look at it like, oh, training. But like for me, it's like,
what do you mean
it's
training?
Like going to the gym, keeping active, being healthy. For me, it's a mandatory thing. It's like, you don't have to go to the gym, but you need to do exercise. You need to like go for walks. You need to like go bike riding. You need to. For me, it was like a mandatory thing. Like that's just one thing. And now like she goes to the gym like almost every day, right? Whereas before she wasn't going almost every day. Now she makes it a point to. Well, now
because you're pushing her, you're bettering her.
Exactly, but she's also pushing me, like in a way, you know.
Right, but I think sometimes we think that everyone has to have everything right away. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If I'm going to the gym, my girl needs to be the girl who's exactly like me going to the gym. But like, there's also room to like, you know, work on things and get better.
You should be attracted to the person that they're trying to become, if that makes sense. Or the person that they're working to become.
Wait, but then don't they say never fall in love with the potential? Like, if they were to not change anything right now, would you want to be with them? And I get that too.
There's certain character traits that you cannot change.
Yeah.
There's certain character traits that you can't change, right? Like your character is who you are who you are, right? But there are certain things that you can change and manipulate. Like, I don't know, being healthy is one of the things, or like being educated. Like having the potential to amount to more in life is things you can, you know, that you can change and get better at.
Think of me having a podcast. When you see my clips, I know you don't agree with all of my clips.
No, we had these talks. We always have these talks, like not directly but indirectly.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I'm very happy for you, and I'm happy to see it become a success the way it has. And like, you know how my brain works. I'm a capitalist. I think like if you could make money with it, go fucking make money with it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not doing like, you know, like the like I don't agree with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't agree with that stuff. Taking pictures of yourself, I don't agree with that kind of stuff. But that other stuff you were telling me last week, like
pay big shit.
Go for it. Somebody's willing to pay for your shit, like that's on them. That's not on you. Like, you know what I mean? As long as you're not selling yourself.
I'm gonna do an episode on pay pigs, but I was telling my brother that like there's just these pay pigs that just want to be financially dominated, and I show my brother the messages I get, like, hey, what's your PayPal? Can I pay you? And my brother's like, are you dumb? Like, accept the money. Like, it's not even like a question. And it's funny because I always fear that, you know, when I'm like, oh, I meet a guy and then he sees me accepting money for this, he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna date this girl. Like,
it is a red flag if you think about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I know you because you're my sister. I know you're not that type that's gonna go do stupid shit like that, you know?
Also, you know that everything I do is planned and intentional. Like, when we're laughing at my clips, the men are getting pissed at, you know? You get it.
I know, and sometimes I feel triggered by that. I'm like, you fucking.
Wait, which one triggered you?
Well, just the one I saw recently about the hoodie. Don't fucking touch my hoodie. Especially not my good ones. Those crap hoodies, those are for you people.
I'm fucking dead.
Oh, shit.
Hold on.
But no, like,
okay, keep
I get it, but I get it. I think you were the one who made me get that. And you know what? Now that you showed me that, I understand why I see those trigger-worthy
Imagine, I'm
clips.
your sister and you got triggered. By the way, one of your friends that you went to high school with comments bad shit on all my videos.
Really?
Yeah. But then you told me he got bullied in high school. So now I'm like, okay, maybe it's his turn to bully. I don't know.
Maybe. But isn't it you who told me that You need to, like, once you start getting hate from people, that's when you know you're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah, but then sometimes it plays like tricks on me. I'm like, am I going? Like, is this gonna translate? And like,
But that in itself is a good sign, though. If you hear all the successful people talking, like, having those second thoughts is all in the playbook of you're going the right direction, right?
really? Okay.
If you hear people, like, successful people talking, they're always getting second doubts and they're second guessing themselves, but they just keep going forward, and then eventually they become like a huge success.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder how you would be if you'd be getting hate all the time. Would it affect you?
If what?
You would be getting hate. I get
feel like
honestly
I would
just
try
as
to
much
not-
hate as I get good feedback.
I feel like I would just try to not read it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Just try to not look at it and pretend like it doesn't exist because it's really not significant, and it's not an indication
Yeah.
for where you're headed, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's worth ignoring. It's not like that criticism is gonna make you better.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know better than me, but salud. I think it's time for a refill of beer.
Yeah. Okay, keep ordering. I'm sending the bill to Dad on the beach.
He's gonna look at the bill.
Wait a minute.
What was it? $65,000 worth of sides. What are the sides that cured cancer? Oh, look at that, expensive.
I told my brother business
here.
expense today. It's on me. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go. Hi, send the bill to my father. My brother and I are so different in so many ways. Like, you're a nerd a little bit. Like,
Ish.
you like weird shit. My brother will buy a telescope, be looking into the fucking moon.
There is weird things about me, I agree.
Like,
Always been passionate about space, honestly.
you love space.
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you like space?
I don't know, I just find it so fascinating.
I
Like
was-
how insignificant we are in a vast universe. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna get
no,
so deep,
that
but
I-
like we're literally a speck of shit in like a. Did you know that there are more stars
Here we
in the
go.
universe than grains of sand on Earth? Think about how fucked up that is.
Is that for sure? Or is that like
That's a fact.
that's a fact?
There are more planets out there than grains of sand. Sorry. There are more suns out there, more stars.
So you
than
think
grains
we're
of
living
sand.
in a what?
I don't know. We could be living in a simulation. I know that's where you're getting at.
We're living in a simulation.
It's just crazy how small we are, but how big we think. You know, as a species, not like as a.
So you think that there's other people living on this?
For sure. I don't know if they're people, but life, for sure. Like, mathematically, it would be naive to think otherwise. Like, just in our galaxy alone, there are millions and millions of stars, and millions of those stars have planets that orbit them that are in the habitable zone, so that have a potential for it to have water on them. So
But like, who cares? Just live your life and die when you die, no?
but I love thinking about those things. That's my life.
Guys, I'll never forget when you bought a telescope and you were looking into the moon. I'm like, oh God, we've completely lost him. And I remember I asked you if you had a chance to go to space with a 50-50 chance of returning.
I would go with 70-30.
What do you mean?
30 chance of survival, 70 chance of dying. I'd probably still go.
Are you serious?
Probably. Like, I would consider it. 50-50, yeah, for sure. 70-30, maybe. It depends where. 70-30 just to go to the moon, maybe not. 70-30 to go to Mars. But I want to go with a possibility of coming back. I don't want to go to a one-way ticket to Mars. That's a no. But Elon Musk is planning that, and there are people out there that are planning building a colony on Mars.
What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate? I feel like he actually shaped you. No?
Honestly, I agree. I don't know what to say. I agree with most of what he says.
Jordan, I agree too.
Like,
Most
okay,
things.
he has like
He has a
maybe
good
like
sense of humor.
Yeah, like he has like he says some polarizing things, and
But like the reason they slap is because most people
most of it is true. That's why.
actually think it's true.
It is true though.
What do you? Yeah, but there's things that I don't agree with, like the several wives. Like, okay, you know, like you agree with that?
I agree with it because everybody involved is agreeing with it. So like if the women and the men are agreeing with it, then who are we to judge?
Okay, fair.
Like if he's lying to them, that's a different story. But if it's like open and like, okay, I take care of you, but you know, and they're all okay with it, they're getting provided for, and she's happy, he's happy.
Yeah. I think there's actually a lot
It's lying that I think that I
Yeah.
don't agree with.
I think also though, like in the Muslim culture, there's a lot of good actually. Like our cousin actually switched from the Bible to the Quran. There's obviously a lot of differences.
I want to read it, by the way. Like
Honestly?
I actually want to, like I would, because I'm curious by nature. I would read it, not necessarily like to switch, but just to read it.
Points they do have like on drinking alcohol and like
yeah.
there's a lot of things that like yeah, it's true, it makes sense.
But a lot of the things Christianity and Catholicism are like similar.
Yeah.
But it's like we don't like put it to a high enough standard. It's like it's like we don't fear like what happens if we don't go like if we go against the Bible.
But shouldn't we fear our religion?
We should. Yeah, technically we should.
You should. And that's
you
why
should.
I think that's one of the main reasons why I think Muslim is a good religion. Because when you fear someone, you act in a way where you won't do things because you don't think about you being in power.
You respect it. You respect it. You respect it enough to like abide by the rules or whatever you want
Like
to call
we
it.
say we're Catholic. I'm getting more into like my faith and stuff.
I know. I
but
saw that you went to church. I'm happy to see that.
I've
That's
been
amazing.
going.
That's amazing.
I don't think you need to go to church to be a religious person.
No.
Like I think like even just praying and stuff, but going from when we were young, Jordan, we didn't want to be there.
We didn't want to be there. I
We
was always in the basement playing lacrosse. Remember?
Yeah, but
I would escape mass to go play hockey because our church downstairs
Yeah,
had
not everyone had that church.
had a lacrosse field or whatever you want to call it, and I would just go. Like I would wait 5-10 minutes in. Our parents were like deeply like in the zone of the mass, and I would just like skip and I would go downstairs.
And then I
not
would come
because I
join-
want to disregard what they're saying, but it's because you're young. You know, it's like your mind's
There was always
different.
donuts at the end. Coffee.
Yeah, and I would come upstairs for the donuts.
It was not a regular church. It was a cool church.
Yeah, it was. It was a cool church. At the end of the mass, they would bring out donuts, coffee, whatever you wanted, like Timbits, Tim Hortons, donuts, Timbits.
But I think that, you know, it was a nice moment for mom because when I was saying I want to go to church, she was like, "What?"
She was happy about that.
But I think it's
She was
kind of
happy
like,
about that.
but when you have, I get it now. Like when you have kids, you don't always do things because that's what they want. But like in the long run, you're not doing it for nothing. Like it makes sense. But in the like while it's happening, you're like, okay, my kids don't want to go. Why am I doing this? Like even her, I'm sure she has doubts. But then
I got
like
into several fights with our parents because like I didn't want to go.
yeah,
I really didn't want to go. It was like somebody at their first day of school, like running away. Like I
Literally.
didn't want to go. I wanted to just stay home.
yeah.
But now I understand. Now I see why. You
Like, now
actually
when
go,
you
it
come-
makes you feel good. Like
There's a lot of things we didn't understand then that now we do, you know? Like now listening,
True.
you're not listening with your fucking 5-year-old
Yeah.
brain, you know?
100%. It's like you're putting your problems on God. It's like you're not
right.
alone.
Which
Like,
you're not
it's-
alone, which leads like to less anxiety and depression because you know that there's a plan and you don't feel like you need to solve everything on your own.
Right.
And you like actually are okay with letting life unfold the way it should, which will guide you in the right direction. But you have to
Absolutely.
have trust in God to do that.
Yeah.
You know? If you're trying to control everything in your life, you're never gonna have what is like destined for you, I think.
Right. Okay, but let me ask you this. What if it doesn't work out? Let's say, what if it doesn't? Is your mindset gonna be like, I did my best, I showed up every single day, and then like I'm gonna do something else?
See, so I don't think it works like, and it didn't work out because I think the things that don't work out take you to where your next thing is supposed
I
to
agree,
be.
totally.
So like you need
Well
to do
said.
that
Well said.
to get to the next
1,000,000%.
point. Like you don't.
I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't, you know.
Like it's how many things have I done that didn't work out? But like at some point something sticks because you're doing everything, and at some point, what's that author that was like, okay,
Motion.
no, draw a dot, perfect, now sign it. Like meaning like good. Like that's the start. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
draw the whole animal. Like draw the dot, sign
Yeah.
it,
Right.
next.
Because like maybe, let's just say for example, I'm not saying it won't, but let's say XPodcast doesn't work out. But how many skills did you gain by doing this?
Yeah.
And then the next thing is going to become a huge success. I'm not saying that, by any means that's what's going to happen, but it's just like all the experience. Think about all the experience you're gaining doing this.
Are you getting tipsy?
A little bit. You?
Cheers.
We order another bottle of wine or what?
Well, you really took company expense to another level. Cheers.
Salud.
Okay, but we forgot to talk about that. When you first moved here,
Yeah.
you started a business.
Yeah, I did. Scooter business. We purchased 200 electric scooters from Netherlands, and we got them shipped to Portugal. We got a warehouse. We bought a truck. Got all the pieces were in place for us to start rolling out our scooter business. And then COVID slammed. It was the worst time, probably in the last 100 years, I would say, to start especially a scooter business where it's a scooter share business.
But they have that scooter business in Lisbon. They have it everywhere, but they didn't have
them everywhere, but why would they start? They didn't have it here, but why would they start that during COVID? Like, we actually got the permissions to roll. We got the permissions from the city, like, okay, we're good to go. We bought the equipment, and then boom, COVID. And then they're like, well, listen, we're sorry, but we can't make you launch now. We're in a pandemic, and your scooters are involving sharing, right? People are touching the handlebars, and that's how scooter sharing works.
Why did you put a pause on that and then start it after COVID? Like, what happened?
Because we were burning capital. That's why. We were burning, and we didn't know. It took 3 years. 3 years later, they still kept, because COVID fucking lasted long, and like...
At first, you were like, okay, we'll hold out.
Yeah, we'll hold out, exactly. So we'll hold out 1 year, and then the second year was at peak COVID, right? And they're like, okay, we'll hold out another year, and then we held out 3 years, and then they still didn't want to give us the permission. We're like, look, we're burning capital over here. Our scooters are getting old technology-wise. There's new technologies that are coming out. We're like, let's try to sell our scooters. Let's sell our truck. Let's try to get as much money as we can back and call it a day.
So you sold all your scooters?
We sold all the scooters. We sold the truck, and we lost half our money. We lost 50% of our investment, which is a miracle.
But would you say you learned from that? That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It's tough because we didn't even launch. We didn't even launch. So like, what did I learn really? It's a really tough lesson. It's a really tough lesson because you lose a lot of money, and we didn't even get a chance to launch. We're just waiting on the sidelines for like shit to get better,
Yeah.
So like, this fucking music is amazing.
And you were doing it with a couple how did you come up with the idea? When you got here, you saw that there was no scooter?
No, it wasn't my idea. It was my friend's idea. The reason why I moved here, my friend, he was connected to people who were already in that business, who already had the infrastructure. So like, they had an opportunity for investors to come in and kind of join the team, right? Like, they already had the app set up, all the IT stuff set up. They had the right people in place, and it was just the timing that was bad. And it's a tough lesson because like, you don't really... What did I learn? You know what I mean? We didn't even get a chance to start. If we started, worked for 3 years, then failed, okay, I would have been like, okay, at least we learned stuff.
No, there's still a lesson learned in that. Because now, like, everything you do is digital, and sometimes not having attachments to anything allows you even more freedom.
I feel like the time spent and the amount lost was not worth the lesson learned. Maybe I'm saying that now. Maybe there's other lessons.
Everything will make sense when you look at it backwards, when your life is,
100%.
Yeah.
I guess maybe one lesson is don't do stuff that relies on other people, because like this business model relied on the government's permission to operate. But then again, who am I to say that? Maybe there are other opportunities that I would miss out by thinking like that. So that's why I don't want to like... But if you ask me if I would get involved in another business like that, the answer is no, because of my experience. But who am I to say that it's a bad...
But sometimes it's not that experience that you had to learn from, but it was like another one coming that like prepped you for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always something you're going to understand in the moment.
Maybe it's in here, but I don't know it yet. And it's going to come out eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so you lost money, but whatever. Money comes and goes. You'll make it.
Right.
You know? You're like, yeah, right. I want that money back. I would say out of all three of us, you are the smartest with your money. out of me and Alessandro.
Yeah, but that's because I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice today for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're more like, fuck it, let's order more champagne. Hey, waiter.
Actually, let's order more wine.
Exactly.
But I also think that I was having this discussion with Dad.
There should be a balance, right?
But I think that energy of me being like, fuck it, money comes and goes. I always, Jordan, make it work. I always figure it out because that energy is so contagious.
Yeah.
And when you don't hold money, like money is energy. So if you're not like stressed about it, even if you don't have it and you just believe it's gonna happen and it'll come, I swear to God, that energy, like it just, money is energy.
I agree, Ella,
if
but
you
to a
hold
certain
on to
point-
it so much, you're never gonna have more.
Okay, but do you agree that there needs to be a balance? Life is all about balance. I've come to learn that in the last couple of years, that life, the universe, everything is all about balance.
No one's saying don't save,
You
but I'm
can't
saying
be extreme on anything. You have to like balance it out.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be like, fuck it, let's go out and let's just go on a shopping spree every day and and just do what I want to do just because like, oh yeah, the universe is gonna give it.
But it
There has
does.
to
It
be
always
some-
works out.
There has to be some sacrifice somewhere.
Yeah. I think men have to sacrifice more, though. No? Am I wrong?
I mean, it's probably true. But
I want fries.
you want fries with that? Yes.
You want fries with that? Yes.
You know that guy lived on he lived on our street, right?
Wait, what?
The guy with the pointy hair from radio.
No way.
That guy lived on
Wait,
our
what was
street.
what was the show?
Okay, fries with that.
No, but that wasn't the name of the show.
No, there was fries with that was the name of the show, but that guy was in another show called Radioactive. Remember, he had pointy hair.
Yes.
I'm okay with wine. You want another bottle?
Get the same thing. It's good.
Good, it's a house one. You see, you're lucky you have your bro here ordering the cheapest wine on the menu.
How much was it?
19 euros.
Well, how much is a wine bottle normally? 19, no?
On No Solo, it's more expensive because look where we are. But normally,
Excuse me. Can I get French fries, please? And actually, you know what? I'll do an Aperol Spritz instead. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
thank
you.
you.
We're gonna get up and actually be different.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Hurry up. Thank you. And we're back. Wait, I love this song. Try it, it's really good. Thank you. Wait, how do you say it in Portuguese?
You say obrigada.
Obrigada. Obrigada if you're a girl, obrigado if you're a guy, right?
If you want to sound like a local, just say brigad.
Briga. How long did it take you to learn Portuguese?
I learned fairly quickly.
Guys,
But
when my
only
brother
because,
was
like-
back home, he would pull out the app. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigada.
So I did a bit of Duolingo, but that didn't really help me because Duolingo was all like just learning words. But I had this other app, Audible, and I was listening to this app called Pimsleur. I don't know if we could shout out Pimsleur, but they really helped me learn conversational Portuguese because they give you scenarios. Okay, for example, pretend you're in a coffee shop ordering coffee. How would you greet the person, and how would you ask for an espresso? Type of things like that. So it would give you a chance to say the sentence, and then it would come in and give you the answer 10 seconds later or whatever. So like it was conversational. So that which is what helped me a lot. And that with the will, I really wanted to learn it. I love languages, so now I gotta learn German soon apparently. So that's
Yeah,
gonna be tough.
if you wanna ask for her hand in marriage, you gotta learn how to speak German.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one though.
Where would you get really
That's gonna be a tough one.
asking for marriage?
No, to speak
Oh.
speaking German. is gonna be tough because like it's not Latin. Like learning Portuguese for us, for you too, it's gonna be easy because you speak French, you speak a bit of Italian. It's gonna be easy for you if you wanted to. A couple of months.
Spanish, I could learn in 2 weeks.
Portuguese, same thing. Okay, not 2 weeks. Let's be honest. You're like probably 3-4 months, and you're able to have.
I find Portuguese actually hard. Like I don't understand much. Spanish, I know exactly what they're saying.
Okay, look, if you do you know the difference between the Portuguese, the Portugal accent and the Brazilian dialect?
No.
There's a difference. The Brazilian dialect is a lot smoother and a lot easier to understand. But it's different. Same language, but the dialect is really, really different. But that one's easier to understand and easier to learn. So maybe you could learn that one if you want to. But to be honest, do you really need to learn it?
That's the
You
one
should brush
thing.
up on Italian.
Yeah.
More.
My Italian's pretty good though. Honestly, I know you don't think so, but
Because you could. Okay, look. I keep telling myself this all the time. Like, for me to learn Italian, for you to learn Italian would be like this.
Yeah.
We're talking about weeks because we have it programmed in our brains since we're younger. Our parents sent us to Italian
you know,
school.
a lot of people say like, "Oh, but you're not first generation." I'm like, "Yeah, we're literally second though." A lot of people are like third, fourth. We're literally second. My mom was born in Italy. Like, my mom spoke Italian growing up.
It doesn't matter. All our grandparents, our aunts, uncles, our whole family's blood is literally
It's so true.
Italian. But not only that, like our culture, we have a mix. It's a nice mix of Italian, Canadian, right? We're in the garage in September doing the pomodoro. We're doing the tomatoes, the peppers, the olives. Not only that, but even like speaking, like, did you come to Italian school or was that just me and
No,
Alessandro?
I did it. I did Italian school also.
Not just Italian school, but just speaking with Nonna, like normal kids go to daycare. We went to Nonna's house.
Yeah. Parla italiano?
Falo melhor que você. Mas isso é normal, mas
Say
para
like
que eu vivo em Portugal, você não vive em Portugal, você vive em Canadá e você não tem razão para falar a linguagem.
what's our favorite Portuguese song? Oh, say
Popozãozão. It's weird that my Portuguese is better than my Italian, but it's weird, but it's not weird because I live here, so it's
You
normal.
live here.
But like it's weird because I'm Italian.
It's weird that you moved to Portugal when if anywhere in Europe you could have moved
know.
to Italy. That's weird.
Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I will.
I want to get a place in Spain. Where would we look into?
Probably the south. I don't
Where?
know. Probably the south.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, Alessia. The south is where we went. The south is where it's the warmest.
Guys,
You're terrible. Oh my god.
history? Geography?
Geography, yes.
No, I know. I'm saying history.
History and geography are your worst subjects.
No, you guys, you have no idea. Like, I can be the biggest blonde when it comes to history and geography.
Yeah, I have a controversial topic.
Wait,
Is it true that most women suck at those subjects? And is there a reason for that?
I was talking to a guy once and I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not good in history. Like, I don't know anything about that. He goes, that's kind of an ick. I'm like, don't most girls not give a shit about that? I don't know.
Yes, but you should know the basics, I think.
Like, I just found out that Canada is run by the Queen.
It's not really run by the Queen. Like, I guess you could say the Queen owns England because they colonized it, I guess, a long time ago. But, like, Queen doesn't get political. Like, even when it comes to, like, UK, even when it comes to England, like, the Queen doesn't really meddle with politics. There's still the Prime Minister that, like, gets into the
like-
politics. You should watch The Crown.
Honestly, though, politics.
I didn't know those things. Those things I just said, I didn't even know them either until I watched The Crown a few years ago. So, like, it just takes that, right? I watched a Netflix show and I knew those
Who
couple
do
things.
you want to be the next president? You want Donald Trump to be elected?
Makes more sense. It makes more sense for Donald Trump to win.
Guys, I'm in the car with my brother and my dad, and they're literally watching Joe Rogan. And who?
Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh.
Because I love that topic.
On how Donald Trump is like perceived as one thing, which, to be fair, as someone who's in media, you know that everything you hear, everything you see is not always what it is. So like
On
when
both
you,
sides, though, right?
right?
Not just
but like
on one
when you
side.
hear things about Trump and you hate him, I'm like, normally the people you would hate in person, you would love. That's just how it is. Like,
I don't know. I feel like I love Trump. It's fucking hilarious. And like, I don't know, just look at like, people have to look past the like, oh, he said this, he said that.
I agree with that.
Look past it. Like, look, you have this one candidate that's in power now. Look at the economy, how it is now, and look at how it was when the other one was in power, and then make your decision based on that. Okay, which one made the economy better? Which one was I living better under?
Yeah, but people
That's the way I
making
see
money
it.
all want Donald Trump.
I feel like today it's all about
But
like,
what's
oh,
fucked up
she's.
is, like-
I feel like most people will vote for the other one because she's black and she's a woman. Oh my god, this is gonna go viral. Fuck. But you know what I mean, though? Like, not necessarily that she's gonna do a good job, but because this one's a woman and she's black, I'm gonna vote for this one. Like,
I don't know. Let me know if you want me to delete that.
I don't know. I feel like that's how most people think nowadays. They're not educated. And some would say I'm not educated for my, like, because of my opinion, but whatever.
But you know what? Freedom of speech. Everyone's allowed
Freedom
to
of
say
fucking
what they
speech.
want.
But I can respect people who say what they think, and then when they're proven otherwise,
They say you're right.
they say you're right, and they adopt a different mindset. I have so much respect for
me
those
too,
kind of
me
people.
too, me too.
But I can't respect
It's
people
the
who are
people-
scared to say what
But
they
that's,
think.
But that's victim
and just-
mentality. When you're able, like, even when you're proven wrong,
Yeah.
mom is a little like that.
Yeah.
Mom is a little like
We
that.
all are at the beginning.
No, Mom
We're
is
all a
like
bit,
that.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She's like that. I'm able to be like, you're right. I'm sorry. Let's move on. I was wrong.
But it's tough to do that, though. Think about it. It's tough to admit you're wrong, especially when like you were standing behind a belief. You're standing like strongly behind a belief, and then like you're proven otherwise. You're like, you know what? You're right. It takes a lot of guts. But like I
But-
respect the people who like can actually
But
stand
ego-
by. Like, okay, my point of view changed in light of this new evidence. My point of view changed.
But
you know?
ego is the
Ego's
killer.
the enemy.
Ego is the enemy, always, always. But I have to say,
Very
I've
true.
gotten so much better at that with like friendships, with like even like my next relationship. When I'm gonna be wrong, I'm gonna admit I'm wrong. Because let me get in that next relationship. Fight with
I
your
was talking to my
girlfriend.
girlfriend about that. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking, and I love how I can be so open with her, in the sense that like she sent me an Instagram post about something to do with like let your girlfriend like be right, and I'm like, you know what, babe? I'm like, I'm just gonna let you be right on the small things, even if I don't believe you. And she's like, yeah. And I love how she's like, yeah. She's like, it's better like that. She agrees that the man has to have certain control over certain things.
Well, for
I'm like-
example, she's a vegan and you already changed her.
Yeah, she's changing. She's changing. Because I told her I didn't like that. I don't find it's healthy to just be vegan.
Meanwhile, you just bought her a lambskin jacket.
A vintage. Because of you told me to buy.
But you know what it's been? It's been?
It's been curated.
Honestly, Seville has amazing thrifting, okay?
How does it compare to California, for example?
Okay, LA, amazing thrifting because you find like designer stuff. But like if you compare it to Montreal, Seville's amazing. We saw Fendi bags. We saw a couple like cool things.
Yeah, but they were curated.
They were curated, yes. But
They were still expensive, though.
we went to Gibraltar, guys. How do you say it?
How did that say? Your bra?
Gibraltar. How do you say it? Gibraltar?
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar. We went to Gibraltar to see the.
I think that's the first time you said it properly. And did we see any monkeys? No, we went to Gibraltar just to go to Burger King. Because mom was too scared to go to the mountain. But to be fair, so are we. We found. We get there, we got warnings from people like, yeah, be careful in Gibraltar. The monkeys are going to steal your glasses and your phone.
We get out of the car. We get out of the car. My brother and I get out of the car. We take out our glasses, our phones. We put it in the bag. We're hiding our bags, thinking the monkeys are out to get us on a strip where everyone's chilling. Like the monkeys are only in the mountains if you go to the top.
That is so jokes.
Anyway, so no
We
one wanted to go
literally
to the
went to
mountains.
Gibraltar just to eat Burger King,
Yeah,
where they
but-
have all over Europe. it's not like we said, oh, bro, we're craving Burger King, so like we went to Gibraltar. No, they have Burger King everywhere. They have tons of Burger Kings. And yeah, my mom was scared to go to the. We were scared too, but like at the end of the day, we would have went.
It's easier to blame it on mom.
Yeah, good point. Because if we really, let's be honest, if we really wanted to, we would have went.
Dad would have went 100%.
No, he would have dictated.
He would have dictated. Okay, he would have told the monkey, "Hey, you." Okay, a little more to the left.
Okay, today you're not gonna steal my stuff. Not for anything. You have your shit that I have to deal with too sometimes.
Wait,
I have my
explain
shit.
one. Say one.
Like your fucking outbursts all the time. Like you're always fucking, especially in the morning, you're always fucking pissed at something. Like you're always fucking angry with mom. Like I don't understand. And I'm just in the middle of it. I'm like, fuck. And it's only been a week. Both have to control the way we talk to mom.
It's so different,
Mom
like
is so
daughter to mom versus
how
like
is it
son.
different? Why is it different?
Because you're a man, you shouldn't talk to mom like that. I'm like, we're like sisters. It's different.
Anyways, no family's perfect, right?
Yeah, all jokes aside,
But
mom,
I wouldn't trade it for anything, though. Like
mom's the best. Like, mom will do anything for us.
She would. So would dad.
So I had, I went on Just the Tip, which is Veronica and Gabby, and they like asked me questions about dating and stuff. And I said something about like drug dealers and like going on a date with one. And someone in the comments wrote, your brother used to sell drugs. Who are you to make a comment like that? And I was like, yo, it's crazy how nothing in life, when you put yourself out there, like, you're not hiding from no one.
But when you hear comments like that, do you think like win? Or do you think like emotional damage?
I think win.
Yeah?
Yeah, kind of. I was like, oh shit, like, they've done enough research to know that. Or like it's
Or
somebody
just
from
a
a
childhood like hater.
hater.
CH.
But, like,
Childhood hater.
Still, okay? But also, like, who doesn't have a brother who sold drugs at one point in their life? You know what I mean? Like,
or uncle or cousin.
or uncle, cousin,
Yeah.
or we're Italian. We're literally practically the mob. Like, no?
We used to sell DVDs in secondary one. I don't know if you remember when the first CD burners came out. Do you remember? Me and Alessandro used to sell movies when we used to be able to like put in a rewritable CD in the computer and put a movie on it. And I was in high school, like in my pockets, I had like CDs, like in the corner selling CDs. Like I think when Borat just came out or James Bond just came out, I was in the corner selling CDs.
You were always selling something.
$5.
You know, that's the thing. My brother was always a businessman.
We always were, though. We always were.
No, not were. Alessandro always thought he wasn't.
Alessandro too. Alessandro's the one who showed me that. To be fair.
Alessandro has the techniques, but he doesn't have the sales.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope he doesn't get mad that I said this. Like, he's so good at like you
Technical
know.
stuff, he kills it.
I'm a bit tips. Back to Trump, but Trump is not for abortions,
And I have ADHD.
Trump is not for abortions, and I don't agree with that, by the way. And you're not gonna give your stance on that because we're gonna get in a huge fight.
But I don't think he says he is for or against. I just think he says like I'm gonna let the states decide what they want to do with it. Like that's what I think. That's what he says. He just says like I'm not gonna meddle myself in it. I'm just gonna let the states decide what they want to do with it. And like I don't know. I just think you're killing a fucking baby. Like I know there's more to it, and I know there's a side on both ends. But like,
Anyway, I don't want to talk about this.
But can we not have the? Can we not just like have the conversation that like? Can you just say that there's a point on both sides? Like having an abortion, you're still kind of killing an unborn baby.
It's not a baby,
in a way.
it's a fetus.
It's gonna be a baby, right?
But it's not yet.
In a few months, though.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not
That's
yet.
like
but
saying like you almost killed someone, but I didn't.
it's a good point. It's a valid point. But like I said at the beginning of our conversation, like I really believe heavily in personal accountability. I believe heavily in your actions.
Obviously, if you're having abortions
consequences.
every fucking week because you're not
So,
having
like-
protected sex, yes, that's a problem.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you have
But there's
sex, like I don't know. I've been with women that are like condom right away, boom, condom, and they're like on top of that. Especially the women here in Europe, right away. They're smart like that. Like they're like.
But you know that you could still get pregnant with a condom.
Yeah, but there's like a .00,
no,
right?
it's not that.
.001.
It's not 0.01. condoms break all the time.
Look, regardless, both men and women should be responsible for it. And I just believe in personal accountability. I believe if you want to get drunk and do stupid things, there should be a consequence to that you have to live with. Imagine every single human on earth lived with that mentality. If I do this, this will happen. The world will be a better place, right or wrong.
Right.
So that's what I believe heavily in.
That's true. But don't you think
I know it's
sometimes
tough,
mistakes
though,
happen though? And there should be
if you're drunk driving one day and you kill somebody, could you go back in time and take that back? No, you can't. You can't take it back.
But I'm not saying it's allowed, but my heart bleeds for people, innocent people who that happens to. Because in the moment, you're not going there to kill someone. So a part of me does feel bad. Wow, they're sentenced to life now. That guy who killed the player. He's sentenced
so
to
sad.
life now. It's sad even for the guy who killed him. He made one mistake and, he drank and he drove. Yeah, he should be punished. But it's sad also to think he's, his whole life now is in prison.
What about the two humans that he
Jordan,
killed? You know what I mean?
I agree he needs to be sentenced, but it is still sad to think one mistake, one wrong thing he did, and he's sentenced to life. Everyone in their life knows someone who drank and drove once. Yes, obviously he needs to be punished, but it's still sad to think of that also.
It is.
But it is life. But that is life.
It's life. I think that's where we have to draw the line sometimes. I think in some certain arguments we have to just draw the line on it is what it is. It's life.
That's the thing. We can't be so lenient because then it's hard to.
Because then it's
rules.
you're just opening up the gates of hell. Imagine you made stuff strict, but the right stuff. I just feel life would be better. Life would be.
But don't you think having a dog on a leash, you let go of the leash, bro, he's running. You have a child, you never allow them to do anything, you let go, they're gonna rebel. It's all about balance, letting people also live their truth, live their life, allowing people to express themselves. It's honestly it's really scary being a parent.
And you should express yourself. But if something happens, it's all on you. That's the beauty of it. It's not going to be on the government. No, but it is. There's a beauty. There's an art to that, I find. There's no redos. There's no do-overs. I find there's an art to that. It's like life. There's no do-overs of life. You live once, then you die. And as far as we know, that's
I always try and remember that. We literally fucking die. We're so worried about what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
nobody's going to remember shit.
Hello from Portugal.
See how my mom likes my brother better? She kissed my brother. She never came to see me.
Ever.
You want a glass of wine, Ma?
Pour her some wine.
You want the wine? Want a glass of wine?
Anyway, there's a lot to talk about, I guess.
Wait, where were
Look
we?
at Mom just speaking in while we're filming.
Definitely have to put that in the video.
If you think I give 0 fucks, meet my mother. I always wondered where I got that from. You just come interrupt the podcast, grab sushi. Which child do you prefer? My camera just died. We have about 0 minutes left at this point because I don't know when this camera is gonna die.
We're not saying that.
Ma, you're in the shot. She's coming in with her orangutan orbs. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the XPodcast. It's been real having you on, and we'll do one every year, I guess. And so cheers.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Salud.